everyone! In this episode, we are going to review the budget-friendly inflatable boat, the Intex Explorer K2. We won't keep you waiting. Let's begin with the setting of the kayak straight away.
What I really like about the kayak is that it's so small. It fits in the boot of the car really easy. This is the whole package, guys. We got 4 pieces of paddles and we got the kayak here, and you can see how lightweight this is. It is really easy to handle.
We bought this little boat for around 100 euros on a special deal back in 2019. It came with 2 paddles, 2 seats and a pump. We thought it was a pretty good deal for what we paid.
Okay, now let's set up the kayak and see how that works. In the package for the kayak we got a fin. The fin is not too bad, it's a little bit flimsy, but it works. We got 2 seats, inflatable seats, so you don't have to buy any extra seats. They're not the most comfortable seats, but... And here we got the kayak. So let's roll that out. So guys, this is the first time we're taking out the kayak after about 4 years storage. We bought this kayak in 2019 and we used it quite a bit there, and then we left it here in Europe. Came back just now. Yeah, first time we're taking it out. Let's see if it still works. So, and of course this is also part of the package. This is the pump that comes with the kayak. 3 different adapters here for the different valves we got in the kayak. Put your foot on there, go like that. This one just clips on here and it's all pretty cheap plastic, but it does the job, guys. Let's pump it up. Basically on this kayak we got 3 air chambers, that is the floor, and then we got the 2 sides here that we need to all inflate separately. And as you can see here on the sides, we actually got some nice valves here. So these valves are not too bad. Those are fast inflation and deflation valves. To inflate, the big valve is screwed in and just the cap is open. And that's how you inflate it. See, it's got nice valves on each side, but then on the floor they put in a really cheap crappy valve that is hard to deflate. In order to get the air out of this valve, you always have to squeeze it tight so that the air can come out here with that little old school flap inside, and that's really a pain in the bum. Let's inflate this bottom first. Now, compared to a more expensive kayak with a drop stitch bottom, feels of course very cheap and flimsy. This is pretty much the same material as you use on an air mattress or something like that. That's what you get for the price and it does the job. Okay, now let's inflate the sides. Right, so we inflated the bottom and the sides now. That's what the kayak looks like. It took us about 10 minutes, so goes pretty fast compared to more expensive kayaks with drop stitch bottom, where you really have to put some pressure in there. On each side of the kayak we also have a splash guard here, front and back, with another inflation valve so that this stays up a little bit, but I find this kind of useless, so I never pump those up. This kayak here is really more like a toy, to be honest. Yeah, you can't take it out in condition where you actually really need a splash guard, in my opinion. But you know what? For the price of it, you can't really complain. And looking at the kayak from the side, it actually has somewhat of a cool look to it. The color and the design of it, I kind of like that. So of course our channel and us, we are all about fishing, so we use this also for fishing, and we caught quite a few fish with it in 2019 when we first bought it, and it helped us to catch fish that we otherwise couldn't have. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the video so far. If you're interested in fishing, then you gotta make sure you check out our website fishingreminder.com. We've been running this website for over 10 years and it's predicting the best bite times worldwide. So wherever you are, you can find out about the best bite times, tide times if you're near the coast, and the current weather forecast specifically for fishing. So we're sending out email reminders each month to all our members to remind them of the best days to go fishing, and then you can go to the website and check the best times, all for free. And if you like to support us, you can also get a premium subscription on our website, which is only $12 per year, and you get the total ad-free experience, and you're supporting what we're doing, our website, our apps, and our channel. So guys, make sure to check out our website fishingreminder.com. It really helps you to improve your fishing game. So I can report now, after 4 years in storage, there's no leak, no damage. I made sure it's dry, of course, before I rolled it away. But yeah, it's still working. No visible damage or leakage. Now at the bottom of the kayak we got a drainage valve here. So if you get water in, it will come out. The plug for that is on the inside. And sometimes that's a little bit difficult to get in there and get out, especially when you're kayaking. Stuff that in there, so now kayak is watertight. So the last thing we got to do is pump up those seats and put them in there as well. Inflating the seats, we have to put in the other adapter here.
But I usually do with just mouth.
Yeah, you're dead on right. You can actually do that with the mouth just as easy, because it's only a small amount of air that goes in there. On the seats we got some Velcro strips, and then on the boat as well. That's how the seats hold. And then we got some clips to clip them in on the side. Gotta try to figure out which is the front and the back. So we got a yellow and a gray side here. When we put in the seat, we gotta have to make sure that it's clipped in forward, so that it holds when you lean against the backrest. That's how that works with the backrest here. Yeah, the yellow side is the front side of the boat.
I think people will figure that out if they are not bubble.
You can also see which is the front and the back when you look underneath where you put in the fin. The fin needs to be in the back, of course. That needs to go into the fin box, and that just slides in like so. It doesn't have any extra clip on it, so to undo it, it's just like a press kind of thing. So it's a little bit cheap, but it works.
Put it upside down maybe.
Yeah, we can't transport it like this anymore. And now we're just gonna clip the pedals together. One thing you notice with the pedal is how flimsy that is. See that? So the plastic here is like super thin, and if you really pedal hard, then you will not have much power with this. But the purpose of this kayak is not power pedaling. The purpose of this kayak is just pedaling in really calm waters anyway. You've got two different sides where they clip together here. So pretty easy, standard like all other pedals as well. Alright guys, so I talked a little bit about how cheap this is, of course, and how cheap the quality of it is. But you know, for the price that you pay for this little kayak here, and for the fact that it is so lightweight, I mean, look how easy it is to carry. Also how small the package is, that you fit it in the car. For the price and for all these reasons, it's actually not a bad kayak. You can easily chuck it in the car, drive to the lake, have it set up in 10 minutes. Be out on the water. You still get to do what you want to do. You want to go out there, have a good time, do a bit of kayaking, maybe a bit of fishing. Of course, a better quality kayak, a more expensive kayak would be better in many cases, but you know, there's always a compromise, and I think for the price you pay for this kayak and what you get for it, it's actually not too bad. And to show you guys how lightweight this is, we're gonna get out my little Korean helper, Hanguk Yojanin, also known as Hyeshin, to carry this to the water.
Hi, 한국 여자. I'm 한국 여자 Hyeshin.
Here's Hanguk Yoja Hyeshin.
So I'm gonna carry this to the lake just over there.
Okay, Hyeshin.
Might be very easy with my muscle.
Show us how it's done.
Yeah.
Isn't it easier if you take it from the other side and put it over your shoulder? Okay, Hyeshin is demonstrating the other way. Okay, see, you put it over your shoulder, like so. And that's a little bit easier, is it? Yeah. Look how simple that is. Okay, maybe we set it down, get the pedals here, just put it down upside down. Success.
Yeah.
Well done. So it's very lightweight, eh?
Easy, super easy.
So even a small girl like My Yojanin Hyeshin here is able to carry that and set this up by herself. So let's get our, what do we get?
Life jacket.
Let's get our life jackets, get the paddle, and then we're gonna go for a little cruise along the lake here. Look how beautiful it is today, that the wind's coming towards us and we got all the green algae bloom here.
Super easy to launch.
Very easy to launch.
So throw that away.
Because of the lightweightness. And here in the back is the best place to put something that you want to carry behind the driver's seat.
Really green. Gosh, really big. Green paint bucket. Compared to our aquamarina, is very wobbly. We are set here now, just about to run away from this green paint bucket here.
Feel like you're sitting on a floating sofa, on a floating air mattress really, Hyeshin. What do you think?
Just a little bit wobbly, little bit like that. I'm tall, very tall, 168 centimeter, but little bit short legs, but still have enough space in the front. You can put some bags on here, your little fishing gadget here. What about you?
So you don't have a lot of space here, of course. I mean, I'm 1.84 meters and I'm sitting in the back because I'm the captain. This is how much space I've got here. So Hyeshin sitting there in front of me, so I can't really stretch my legs out. I could stretch my legs out like this, but then I'll be sitting in a very uncomfortable position. Bottom is not hard and it's bulging up here in front of me, so I'm sitting lower with my bum, which is not a comfortable position. You know, in most kayaks you'll be sitting a little bit higher than your legs, and this is not the case in this kayak. It's not possible with this construction, of course, but that goes with all these kayaks. When you're in really shallow water, you got the fin sticking out on the bottom, so you can't really pedal in really shallow water because the fin is also a little bit flimsy. You don't really want to break it off, so you got to be careful paddling in shallow water with this kayak. So we got a little bit of a breeze going. The wind is pushing us along, but it's actually not too bad. So we're not being pushed really fast here because of the fin. It stays on track as well. If I would take out the fin and try to pedal without the fin, that wouldn't work. We would just be sort of drifting around here, and it would be really hard to keep a straight track. Yeah, so the lake isn't too big where we are now. We're gonna pedal over to that little island, have a little bit of a cruise forward.
You can pedal pretty fast actually in this lake.
So guys, if you're interested in some of the specifications of this kayak, it's designed for a maximum capacity of 2 people, of course, as you've seen. That it has a maximum weight capacity of 400 pounds. So that is about 200 kilograms, so which is enough for about 2 adults, or maybe an adult and a child. The total weight of the kayak might be interesting to you as well. The Intex website states the weight as 36 or 37 pounds, which is what, 18 kilos roundabout, and that includes the oars and all this kind of stuff. So very easy to carry around, 18 kilos, just like 1.5 buckets of water really. So those are really the top pros of this kayak, that it's so lightweight and so small to stuff together. It doesn't say anything on the website about the length of the kayak. I'm guessing it's about, how long is it, Hyeshin?
2.5 to 3 meters.
Yeah, I'd be guessing the same. It's about 2.5 meters in length, so it's not like super long, but doable with the 2 of us. And it's very stable, as you can see. I could even sit on the side here and jump in the water and climb back in easily, not a problem, because of those thick side pontoons. So very stable, you won't fall over. Good kayak for a beginner, but if you're used to something better, then you're probably gonna get a little bit disappointed. Okay guys, so now we're gonna show you quickly how it pedals with one single person as well. So I'm just hopping in now. Leave the seat in the same position here in the back. Let's hop in. Sitting by myself, I've got a lot of space here for my little crate that I usually take when I go fishing, and other things that I can stuff up in the front there. And of course it's much more lightweight, moves much faster that way as well. Paddling this kayak on my own is actually not too bad, but the seating position in this kayak is not very comfortable for longer distances. You really get lower back pain fairly quickly. It's just because, as you can see, that my bum is just sacking down here with a soft bottom into the water, and my legs are sitting up much higher, and I don't really have much support anywhere in my back. I wouldn't do any touring, especially now that we're used to another kayak. So one way I found what makes fishing a little bit easier, if you have a small little partner like Hyeshin, then you can actually put those seats opposite to each other. That way you have your fishing partner facing you. You don't have the back in front of you, so you don't lose all the space. You have the space in between you. It means only one of you can paddle, of course, the person who's sitting in the back, but that doesn't really matter if you just go on small lakes where you just want to get to the edges and stuff for some fishing. But you still have a lot more space on the boat and a lot more fun that way. I turned around the seat here, the front seat, just having it facing the same way like the back seat. Hyeshin will be sitting now in this seat and I'll be sitting in the back seat. I'll be doing the paddling. We don't have any fishing gear with us today, but otherwise Hyeshin would be able to do the jigging, the trolling, holding the rods and stuff like that, while I paddle slowly along the lake. If we stop somewhere, then we can both fish easily, and we can have a box in between us where we can store our fishing gear and the catches. Okay.
My pedal is over there.
Hold on to that.
Imagine this is a fishing rod.
Yeah, normally she would be holding on to the fishing rod instead of the paddle. So now we can paddle pretty comfortably, and my little pretty Hyeshin park can even lie down and enjoy the ride. So what do you think about this, guys? I think this is a really good solution for this boat. If you go fishing with your partner, already last time when we used this boat in 2019, we figured that this is the best way to actually use it for fishing.
Yeah.
If you're interested in buying such a boat, you're thinking about buying this boat, especially for the purpose of fishing, I hope it gives you a little bit of an overview and a little bit of help to make up your mind. Cheers and happy boating, everyone!
Happy kayaking!
Happy boating and happy kayaking and happy fishing.
Happy inflatable boating.
And happy life and happy everything.